Right, good morning YouTube and welcome to my channel, Jules Craft Room. I'm Julie and this is the final week of the Sada crochet along for the summer picnic blanket. And it's all really, your blanket should look like this, all put together, and it's just a matter of edging it. I don't know if I'm going to bother with I'm definitely not going to do the big pom-poms. I'm sure they'll get eaten by the dogs or something. I'm not sure about the little ones, but I'm going to do all the other edging and I'll be doing that with you. So yeah, so I'm excited, nearly done. So that's good. And I see they put out an advert for a Halloween crochet along, so I'm looking forward to doing that. I put my name down for that. Yeah, so I'll turn you around and we'll make a start on edging our blanket. Right, so we'll be starting at the top here, but just above the cherries, and you'll be using the ice pink, and it says to start the first round with right side facing you, and you join in the top right hand corner. So we're going to join our yarn. And it says do one chain, and you double crochet into the same stitch because the one chain doesn't count as a stitch, and I'm weaving in my end as I go along. And then it says to do a double crochet into every stitch to the corner, so that will be 170 double crochets. So you just go along doing 170 double crochets all the way along, and I'm weaving in that end as I go. And you carry on, you do that right to the end, and I'll see you at the corner. Right, so when you get to the end, I've just counted, I've got 170 stitches. You then do 2 chain, and you do another double crochet into the same space as the one here, and that is your corner. So that's your corner. And then we have to start down here, and this is really a free-for-all because it just says that going down the side, just work evenly, roughly add in 2 double crochets into the side of a treble and 1 into the side of a double. It doesn't give you any stitch count, so it's really just making it so that it's not too baggy but not too tight. So yes, so this one is in the double crochet, so this is a treble, so you do 2 in there, so maybe there, but like I say, it's a bit of a free-for-all. I'm not a lover of these big gaps either, so maybe we can go into here. So it doesn't pull it so much, and maybe here. And maybe here. The main thing is that whatever you do this side, you want to match the other side. So if you end up with 250 this side, you'll have to do 250 the other side. So you will need to count them at some stage. But yes, it's just a matter of going along and trying to do it as evenly as possible along here. So I mean, it's quite easy to go in the bigger bits, but I must admit I'm not a lover of I don't like that because that's too far down compared to the rest of them. So I will need to put it into here somewhere. And then maybe here. So yeah, and then maybe here. And try and get it as tidy and as neat as you can, and not too baggy and not too stretchy. Okay, I'll meet you at the corner and I'll let you know how many I used in the end, how many stitches I did. Right, so I've gone down the long edge, as you can see. Hopefully the next round will tighten it up a bit, but I've ended up with 225 stitches along that end, and then when you get to the end you do your 2 chain and then your double crochet into the corner, and then you're working 170 along here. So that makes that a bit easier at least. So then just carry on doing your 170 along the bottom here, and then when you get to the corner you do your 2 chain and another double crochet in the same stitch, and then you've got to go up the other side and you need to do the same, roughly within 1 or 2 stitches, the same amount as you've done up this side. And like I say, I did 225, so that's what I'm aiming for. Okay, I'll see you when we get to the end, and if I manage to do the same amount of stitches up the other side or not. Right, so I've come to the end of the other long side, and I've got 227, so I'm going to go with that. So I did 225 one side, and this side's got 227, and I'm happy, that's pretty close. So I'm going to do 2 chain for the corner and then slip stitch it into the top of the first double crochet. And then you fasten off, because we're now going to add the pink. So find your pink and join. And you join into the top of the right hand side again. So just where we fastened off. So you could join into your 2 chain space. And it says do 1 chain and then a double crochet into the corner. So there we are. Then it says do 1 chain, miss a stitch and double crochet into the next stitch. So we're missing this stitch and we're doing a double crochet into this stitch, and I'm carrying these bits as well. So miss a stitch, double crochet into the next stitch, and it says to repeat that to the next corner. So we go all the way along to the next corner, and then we do a corner, which is a double crochet, a 2 chain and a double crochet in the corner space. And then we carry on. So your 1 chain, miss a stitch and double crochet. One chain, miss a stitch, double crochet into the next. And you're going to do that all the way around the whole blanket, doing your corners. And I'll see you when you finish that. Right, so I finished round 2, the 1 double crochet, 1 chain, miss a space all the way round, and I've joined it onto the first one, and now I'm going to do, we're now back on rows, and we're just going to work on the top and the lower edges, the 2 short edges. So you're back on with your ice pink, and you're joining into the top of the corner space. So that's that one there. and it says to do a 3 chain. That's 1, 2, 3, and you're doing a treble into the corner space, like that. And I'm going to try and weave in these ends as I go along. And then you do a treble into the next chain space. So into the next chain space, which will be this one here. That one there. Like that. So then you've done 1 treble into the chain space. You do 1 chain and you do 2 trebles together over the next 2 1 chain spaces. So that will be this one and this one. Like that. And it says 1 chain, and it says 2 together across the previous and the next. So you're trebling 2 together across the previous, so you'll do another one in there. And then the next one. Like that. And then you repeat to the last stitch from the repeat, and the repeat is 1 chain and then a treble, 2 together across the previous and the next chain space. So again, you're going in this one that you've just done and the next one. Get in like these little V's, like that. And you do that all the way along. Right, so when you get to the end of this first row, it makes this lovely little, like a V stitch all the way along. When you get the last chain space, you do a treble in. And the last one, you'll do a treble in, like that. So it should end like that. Okay, so now we can do round 2, and it's a different colour, so we need to fasten this off. Right, so you start row 2 in the Cupid, and you join into the top here. Like that. And then it says 1 chain and then 1 double crochet into the same space. So there. And then you 1 chain, you miss a stitch and you double crochet into the next chain space. So that will be in here. And you repeat that all along. 1 chain, miss a stitch, double crochet into the chain space. So 1 chain, miss a stitch, into the chain space. So it looks like that. And you do that all the way along to the end. Right, so when you get to the end of row 2, you've done your double crochet into the last chain space, and then you do 1 into the top of the treble from the previous row. Like that. And then you fasten off. And then you go back to the other end because you're starting again on the right side. You're joining in this corner here, and we're going to join the pink. And you're doing 3 chain. 1, 2, 3. And you're going to do a treble into the same stitch, like that. I'm going to weave that end in, and then you're going to do a treble into the next 1 chain space. So that's this one here, like that. And then you're going to do 1 chain, and you're going to do 2 trebles together across the next 2 1 chain spaces. So that will be in here, and then you don't finish it, and then you go into the next chain space, and you go for all 3. So it'd be like that. So it's very similar to what we were doing down there. And then you start the repeat, which is 1 chain, 2 trebles across the previous, so this one you've just been in, 2 trebles together, so you yarn over and then into the next one, and then through all 3, and again, and you do 1 chain, and then you do into the one you've just done, yarn over into the next one, and then together. And that's what it's going to look like, which is exactly what you did there. And you do that all the way along to the end, and I'll see you at the end. Right, so you should have finished now. You should have finished row 1, 2 and 3 at both ends of the top and the bottom, and that's one end, and then that's the other end down there. And now we're going to do along this long bit here. So you need to go to the bottom and start in the right hand corner, right side facing, and we're using the ice pink. So we join, and you're joining into that edge. So let's do the top of that treble. And you're doing a 3 chain. That's 1, 2, 3, and you're doing a treble into that same stitch. I'm going to try and tidy up these loose ends as well. That's the treble. And then it says to do 2 treble in each 1 chain space, and repeat to the other corner. So 2 trebles into each 1 chain space. Well, I don't know what you're meant to do here. Right, so in the pattern it tells you what to do when you get to the end of this row on these bits, but it doesn't tell you what to do at the beginning, so I presume it's the same. So you need to do 2 treble into where the cupid was added, because that's what it says to do at the end. So that's 1, 2, and a 2 into this corner. So that's what I'm going to do, and then that will match the end, which this is what they tell you to do, but at the beginning they don't. Right, and then you do 2 treble into each chain space all the way along. Like that. And then when you get to the end, the pattern actually tells you to do one in this place at the other end. Tells you to do it one in there and one in here. Okay, so I'll see you at the end, and hopefully you'll have a nice neat end. Right, so when you get to the end of this long row with the 2 trebles into the chain spaces, you've done it into the corner, and then you do it where the cupid joins. So 2 in there. And then 2 at the end here, the top of that treble. And then you fasten off. And that's that rounder. And you do the same on the opposite side, which I've done. Like that. And then it's time to do the orange scallop. And the orange scallop is meant to be at both of the short ends at the top. But I'm thinking once I've done one of the tops, I'll see what it looks like, and I might do it all the way round, because this doesn't look finished and I'm not putting the little bobbles on, so I think it'll probably look nice to have the orange all the way round. But I'm going to do it along the top as per the pattern and see what it looks like. So you join the clementine. Right, so join the clementine into the top right hand corner. So that'll be this one here, top of this last treble that you did. I'm going to try and weave the stitches in as I do it. And then you do 1 chain, and you do a 1 double crochet into the top of the last stitch, so backward, the same stitch as you joined. And then you double crochet into the bottom of the same treble. So that will be down here. Like that. And then you do a double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. So that's that one. And that one. Right, and then it says to double crochet into each stitch and each 1 chain space. So this is a 1 chain space. And then we have a stitch. One chain space. Stitch, so it should look like that. So 1 in the 1 chain space and 1 in the stitch all the way along. Right, so when we get to the end of the double crochets on this, you've done your double crochet into the corner, and then you do a double crochet into the bottom of this treble and another one into the top of the treble, like that. and then you turn, and you'll be working on the wrong side. And then you one chain, and you do a double crochet into the same stitch, like that. And then you miss 2 stitches and you do 5 trebles into the next stitch. So you miss 2, that's 1, 2, and you do 5 into there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you miss 2 stitches and you do a double crochet into there, and that's your scallop bit. And then you repeat that all the way to the end. So you will do 5, miss 2 stitches, and do 5 double crochet, 5 trebles into the same stitch, 4, 5, and then miss 2 and do a double crochet, and that looks really pretty. So you carry on to the end, and then you do the same the other end. So, but I'm going to I'm not going to do that because I want to do orange all the way around. So I'm going to carry on doing my double crochets round all the other sides before I so I'm going to carry on doing mine all the way round, and then I'm going to do a scallop all the way round. So I'm going to do 2 chain, double crochet in there, and then I'm going to do a double crochet in every stitch along here, and I'm going to go all the way round, and then I'm going to do my scallops. So I'm going to have a clementine border all the way around my blanket because I don't want to do the pom-poms. But yeah, so I'll see you when I finish my blanket. Right, so I finished the summer picnic, and I didn't do the edging as in the pattern. I did where it said to do this nice scallop bit at the top and the bottom. I did it all the way round because I'm not going to bother putting the bobbles on or the pom-poms, because I think it will get pulled by the dogs or the grandkids. So yeah, so it's done, and I'll put some footage up here of it laid out. But yes, it's all done. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and looking forward to the Halloween one. So yeah, well, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.